Coburg VFL coach Leigh Adams. Thank you.
Thanks guys, thanks for having me here tonight. I'm from the Yarra Valley, live out in the eastern suburbs now, so for me to drive this way, that was something that's really important for me. And my perspective, I am a senior coach at Coburg Football Club at the moment, but I'm going to talk to start with about my mental health as a player. I played 10 years for North Melbourne in the AFL system, and then gone into coaching, after that. So I'll start by telling you a little bit about my journey in football, and then I'll talk a little bit about how my, journey has helped me going into my coaching career, and how I've had to deal with players going through some mental issues themselves. So, as I said, I played for North Melbourne for 10 years and played 104 games, and retired in 2015 because of concussion. So I had 5 concussions in 12 months. And if you had asked me before 2015 what is depression, I would have said it's someone that's mentally weak. That's what I thought. That was, coming through a footy program of big, strong men that don't really talk about their feelings. For someone to say they had depression, to me back then would have been that they're not cut out for football because they're just mentally not up to it. Since then, I've obviously gone through a few issues myself. When I had those concussions, I was diagnosed with depression, with a chemical imbalance in my brain, which, went through some pretty tough times there. So I stupidly, after my 5th concussion, wanted to continue to play AFL football, but I went through pretty much all those symptoms right there. Very big anger issues towards family, friends, pretty much anyone. I went through short-term memory loss, couldn't remember people's names that had been my life, my life. Really fatigued, low libido, all the stuff that was up there, I went through for long periods of time. And to this day, I still, I'm on antidepressants now to help me and see a psychologist and all those things. But yeah, I've been through that side of things, and it's not nice. I think it's really healthy on the other side. So from obviously retiring from football, I've then gone into coaching, and I first went into coaching out of the Eastern Football League, coached a team out there, South Croydon, Division 1 of the Eastern Footy League, and took over them at a pretty poor point in their footy career. They were going pretty poorly, and one of the first things we did was we actually got a new female president came on board. It was the first female president in the Eastern Footy League, who didn't have a football background at all, but she had kids that played at the footy club, and she was a business owner and just really enthusiastic about wanting to make it a real community club. And I suppose in this day and age where local players are moving clubs every second year, it's really important to have those community-based clubs. And one of the first things that she wanted to implement was a program called the SALT program, which is Sport and Life Training. Being a coach, I was really mindful of the players coming in and giving up their Tuesdays and Thursday nights, and then obviously probably a Sunday for recovery, and missing a few things because football's so full on at a local level. But for them to stay back an extra hour and a half once a month, once a fortnight, I was really wary of, was it worth it or not? And we decided that it was definitely worth it for the mental side of things. So we had a bloke come in, it was an ex-local footballer and a school teacher, and he talked about just the signs and symptoms of how our players could look out for each other. And if you did have a player that was missing training or didn't see himself or was late for training, was having poor performances on the field, and just to have a conversation with him. And they gave us some really good tips on how to start a conversation. I think that's pretty tough in a football club to just walk up to someone and say, "How are you going, mate?" You get the audience and everyone's talked about, "Yeah, good, fine, I'm going all right." But to actually go and go, "No, mate, how are you actually going? How are you going? How's everything away from football going?" And from that point of view, I put that down to the success of that footy club and how well they're going to this day for that program. So nothing to do with any recruits we got, anything I taught them on the footy field, to go with that bond that those blokes, those 50 blokes had together, made that club win a premiership within 2 years. So through that, we did a lot of surveys, anonymous surveys like at the start of the night there, where you just go on your phone and answer a few questions. How are you feeling? Do you think you've got any signs of depression, anxiety? And you see the stats up there, 1 in 4, 1 in 5 people will go through it at some stage. So if you've got 60, 70 blokes in a footy club, it's going to be a fair few blokes that had it. And we found out through that 6 players at our footy club had depression, and 2 of them were struggling pretty badly, to a stage where one bloke wasn't turning up to training. One of our better players was just missing training, and not many people actually picked up on it. And it was just, just one of those things, maybe he's working late or whatever. But being a person that had probably gone through that situation and gone through that SOL program, probably was a bit easier for me to have the conversation with the bloke. And a couple of phone calls that went unanswered, a couple of text messages where they get back to me. I start to think, shit, it's probably a bit of a worry, but I managed to get on to him and have a really good conversation with him and share my story with him about what I'd gone through. And it just happened that it got through to him, and then a few other blokes picked up on it. This bloke's at this footy club now, and I reckon if we hadn't had that program, or had someone hadn't noticed what was going on with him, I'm not sure he'd be here today. He's really thankful for that, and he's an integral part of that footy club now and loves everything about that club, and he's fantastic, buys into the club through that program fantastically well, and it could have gone drastically another way if it wasn't for the tools that we were taught. So I'm going to keep this pretty short and sharp, because I know I'm probably going to do the graveyard shift when we actually work tomorrow. So I always get asked as a senior coach now, have you got any good drills you can teach me, or what's the new fads of, what can I pass on to my players? And the one bit of advice I always give when I talk to any coaching clinics or anything like that is, don't worry about the X's and O's and stuff like that. If you can build a good relationship with your players to the point where you can ask them how they're going and get an honest answer for them, that beats any structure, any game plan that you can come up with. Because if they're able to go out and play on instinct and play with a free mind, it's going to beat any game plan you can come up with. And, the odds are, the footy clubs, at least 25 blokes you've probably got on your list, 3 or 4 of them are probably struggling in some form throughout their footy career, throughout that season. And from a person who's been through that, as some people can play through and play at a really high level, but eventually it'll wear them down and they're not going to perform. But from a really selfish point of view as a coach, when we're looking at performance, from a mental side of things, they'll get all the physical things done, they'll learn enough of the game plan and stuff like that. And whatever drills you're doing, I'm sure will fine. And if they can play mentally free and know that they've got a really good relationship with the coach or staff around that they can talk to, I'm sure that's where you're going to get your best results, I think. So that's the message that I'll pass on to you guys tonight. Thank you.